So Canon has developed a development announcement of a future development. Thanks for letting us know you're working on something in the distant future with no idea when it's going to be available or how much it's going to cost. I appreciate the transparency. I wish more companies told us what their plan was. So with this R5 announcement, I want to theorize what Sony must be feeling in here. Oh, the mic blocked it. There's no mic.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
The mic's hiding my t-shirt. Oh, that's not going to be good for t-shirt sales. So we're on the Laowa 13.5mm equivalent on a GH5S. That is fantastic. So right off the bat, Canon announcing only video features. They don't give a shit about photographers anymore. They've switched their mindset to videographers, vloggers, and dream makers. Most photographers have pet frogs, and they pet them. Even though they're slimy, they don't even mind because they're photographers. Hey frog, leap up into the air and I'm gonna capture your majestic leap. I was in portrait mode. It beautified you, but that wasn't the artistic creation I had in mind. I'll delete the photo. Looking for frog portraits, paying $40 million. You loser. Oh, why do I have to cry when I laugh? I look so unprofessional. Oh, my makeup is falling. I saw this photographer on DP Review. He just left a comment like, what about the photography specs? Let us have a moment. Just one moment. That's all we ask for from Canon. Every single Canon camera is fine for pictures. Sure, they don't shoot very fast, but develop the skill. Every picture I've ever taken has been one shot. Who uses continuous mode? Oh, maybe one of these 40 shots is the... Get the one shot that matters in there. Just, that's the shot. That's what you're going for. What is this 40 shot? So let's dissect their hidden code in the press announcement, and then we'll get into Sony's fear. The 8K at 30p, dual pixel autofocus, full width. That's what she said. She wasn't even ready for it. If that isn't enough, RAW, internally, Panasonic just announced, we can do RAW. Externally, you do need a small computer to attach to your camera. We can't do it, but we know a guy that can help us. His name is Jesus Hammerwood. I'm not interested in these file sizes. I don't know what computer could even handle it, but cool. It's just bragging rights for the Sony fear we'll get into later. Push the boundaries? I don't mind that. Shout out to vloggers. 4K 120p, and it has 10-bit 422C log? That scares me. The confusing thing, we can do 4K 120p with all that internal, or 4K 60p externally. That's worse. You need a device to record a worse thing. Welcome to backwards land, where I do backflips forward. Shoot at 20 frames per second, that's photography bullshit. IBIS plus optical, I can't wait to see it. I haven't been impressed with the Fuji's system so far, but with some firmware tweaks, you never know. But I think that Fuji uses the magnetic system, and I thought I saw a Canon talking about that. They filed a patent for magnetic IBIS, so it's going to be the same way, instead of the superior spring-based system we have in the GH5S. There's no IBIS in the G9. But maybe the magnet IBIS is better for wide-angle lenses. Who knows? I want to see it. So we got to see it. But already, I'm telling you right now, I'm very happy with lens stabilization plus digital. It works. You add IBIS to that? I don't even want to know what it looks like. Too good. We can pretty much guarantee that this lens on the R5 is going to be fantastically smooth, but it's so heavy. Like that's the whole point. Like yes, they're making the perfect camera, but how much heavier is it going to be than this, which is already too heavy? And then all their lenses are these big boys, that 28 to 70 f2? What the hell is that? Who could ever use it? For the studio, I want it. I'm gonna buy it. It's too heavy to even hold. I need a nap. I'm gonna take a nap. They're saying they're gonna have advanced animal tracking autofocus. That, you're already playing at my heartstrings. The G9 has that. I love that it's face detection and animal detection in one mode. You don't have to think about it. It's like, look at the human, then turn it around, look at the animal. Same thing. We're all one. Except the photographers with pet frogs. They're weird. Oh my god, the light wasn't on. This isn't even a YouTube video. Welcome to YouTube. I was trying to sell this thing on Craigslist, but I keep using it now, and I'm like, oh. So whenever I get an offer that's even slightly below what it was, I'm like, oh, I just removed the ad. I think I'm gonna keep it. I like it. How y'all doing? So hopefully Canon has it the same as Panasonic, where you don't have to switch modes. I see an animal, I turn the camera, it locks onto it. Hopefully, but I don't like Canon's tracking. I've tracked some things. It looks easy, like you tap on the screen, oh look, it's following the boxes, but it jumps all over the place. I did some B-roll of the idle cam, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna tap on that and then move in. It was jumping all over the place. It wasn't very good at all. I tapped on a squirrel that was just like frolicking slowly towards me. The footage did not say what the box said. They were two different entities. It was not in focus. It was focusing everywhere. But with this mumbo jumbo camera that's gonna weigh 14 pounds and cost $15,000, at least $5,000, I'm thinking US, 40 million Canadian. It better be able to track a squirrel. It'll track your mom. So it sounds great on paper, we just don't know what bracket of price are we leaping into here. There's no way they're pricing it at like a Sony A7 III level. It's not gonna be $2,000, it's gonna be, I'm thinking 3.5 minimum. And in Canada, you have to know a king to hold your hand to even get in the store to buy it. And will he lend you gold? Do you have to wear a cape? These are the questions they weren't in the press release, so we gotta wait. Now that brings us to Sony and the mythical A7S III Mark V. They must be shaking right now because they were trying to exceed expectations. Canon just did that. They actually leapfrogged whatever Sony was about to do. Every year, Sony is holding the A7S III Mark V, about to show it, and then something gets announced. And then they go back into that dungeon where it smells like wheat and slime from the frogs. They're photographers. But you know what's interesting? I think Sony is actually gonna match and surpass this. I think they're actually gonna have 8K. They're gonna match these specs, but it's gonna be slightly better than what Canon does. Like if Canon's line skipping, Sony isn't. Something like it's just slightly better. They're gonna match it. I just don't like the veil of secrecy surrounding this stupid Sony camera for so long. How can they keep hiding it? And we're not even sure it exists, but we heard an executive talk about it once. It'll exceed our expectations. That's all we have. That's all we know, that it will exceed our expectations. Well, now we expect this, the Canon R5. Will you exceed that? You have to. You have to. You have no choice. But considering the Sony A7S II was a video mistake, they didn't even think it would be used for that. They just had it. It's like it's so good in low light that freaks that wanted to film beach time documentaries at night of jellyfish touching their feet. I've seen the documentaries. They're good. Oh, hey, James. What? Is that a jellyfish touching your foot? Doesn't that hurt? It used to. But I'm immune to it now, Gilbert. You can be too. Do you want to be immune? What do you mean? Like you have some sort of secret society that allows you immunity to jellyfish so you can make the best documentaries in the world? You've stumbled upon a great secret today, Gilbert, and I have to either kill you or give you the serum. So, it's your choice. But we've been best friends since kindergarten. Ever since we put our sandwiches together. Remember? You had a bologna and mayonnaise. I had peanut butter and jelly. Together we were bologna mayonnaise jelly. It was a good sandwich, Gilbert, and you've been a good friend. But I have to kill you now. I don't want to. Take the serum. Live like us. I won't do it, James. I have morals. I fight for the good. Up there, you've sold your soul. I'll kill you. Right now. I was wrong, Gilbert. Give me one last chance. I can change. Man, I cannot wait till that is in theaters. That's all I know. The Jellyfish Cult. Just wait, look for it. So I don't know what Sony's waiting for, but I feel like people would rather be with Canon. Most of the people that switched to Sony kept their Canon lenses. And they just prefer Canon color science, the flippy screen. I mean, Canon's the more user-friendly experience. Much more comfortable and ergonomic, while Sony's obsessed with tiny size, tiny little finger boys. Canon's the way. Canon's the way. Sony with their weird color science. You're either green or magenta. Just pick a balance, you freaks. Canon's not as sharp, but that's more pleasing for the face. And the nightmare Sony menu system, it's like people would much rather have that Canon. And now that they're actually providing the specs with it, people always still went with the Canon, even though it was crippled. Even though until Panasonic here develops some phase detection in their life, they allow Canon to sneak in. Why did I pick it up? Did it add valuable cinematic effect? I'm gonna leave. Not before you buy a vegetable. Oh boy. I'm seeing zebras start to sneak into those windows. Is it too bright for your own good? Can you see it? And then we stop down to tone at 2.8. And now the background reveals itself. It was completely obliterated before. Wow. So here we are. I'm gonna go. What do you think? Are you excited? All the rumors were basically what we already knew, and now they're confirming it, which is kind of exciting, but I'm more excited to see what Sony's backlash, that's not the word, Sony's answer is to this. I'm gonna go now. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.